Hi friends. So yeah, fear mongering is absolutely rampant on TikTok, and it does go too far sometimes. I think that there is a lot of that going around, and maybe it shouldn't be as much. However, I think that there is still value in the cautionary tales, and it's kind of dangerous to tell a bunch of baby witches that as long as they don't have bad intentions, their spells are going to work out just in a different way, and there's no such thing as those spells backfiring, because that is absolutely not the case. And to accentuate my point, I'm going to share a personal story of mine about the first spell I ever cast. It was 2015. I was a very new witch and in a very desperate situation, and so desperate situation plus ADHD brain, I just jumped right in and I wrote my own spell right off the bat, and I tried to do a million different things just to make my life better. That was the general vibe of the spell. I didn't know at the time that, one, you shouldn't cast spells right off the bat, and two, you shouldn't like do a million things. It should be focused on one small thing, like, okay, I'm gonna do it this way by money or whatever. I didn't know that. So I had very innocent intentions. I was doing like coffee for energy and sugar for money and just like general happiness and growth and whatever. But right after I cast the spell, again, because I didn't know how to do it at the time, my cat says hi, I blew a tire on the interstate like a day after starting my new job. Because of this, I was going to be a little bit late on rent, and my roommates kind of lost their shit and decided that either I had to get rid of my cat or I had to leave. Came absolutely out of nowhere. We were on great terms before this, and this just boom, 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 just spiraled. Because it was money related, we didn't have Wi-Fi at the time. I was out of my cell service, and I didn't have any way to look for a new place or a new job or anything. But I had a friend who was DMing my D&D group, who I guess his roommate had just moved out, and he was looking for someone. He was like, sick, perfect timing, you can move in with me. This place was more expensive, so it wasn't money front. It was further away from my current job. I had to drive like an hour and a half every day to get there. So it's not like this place was an improvement by any means. And then on top of that, on my very first night there, he sexually assaulted me. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to sit here and say that a spell backfiring is the reason why I got assaulted. Like, no, he is a shit trash person. Like, that is fully on him and his free will for taking advantage of me like that, and that's not okay. And I'm not even saying that the universe was like, oh, we're going to backfire this and put you in that situation. Absolutely not. However, I wouldn't have ended up in that situation in the first place if I hadn't channeled so much energy so poorly without knowing what I was doing. There was a lot more shit that happened after that, and I had to clean up my messes, and I had to learn a lot from it. So yeah, there were lessons in there, and that's great. But to say that there's no way that your spell can backfire unless it's like a baneful working, that is just not true. And it's dangerous to spread that. I agree that the fear mongering needs to chill out a little bit, but it's also really dangerous to go in the other direction.